politician uses their music in a certain way, like Springsteen told Reagan to cut it out when he was using "Born in the USA" for his campaigns and things like that. So I was always wondering, and this is in no way a criticism either way, I'm just curious about the story behind it. How did "My City Was Gone" wind up the riff from that being used for Rush Limbaugh? I imagine, or maybe you're a fan of his. I don't know, and I'm not judging whatsoever. But
okay, well let me say that. Okay, let me explain it.
Yeah.
I've never heard his show. I didn't know his. I live in England.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what's going on in politics in America. I've never seen Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
I don't see American television. I've been here since 1973.
Uh-huh.
So all my references are not American. I don't have many American references in my recent. I mean, I went to see Bill Burr the other day, the comedian.
Yeah.
That's a reference point for me because I really love Bill Burr and I've listened to his podcast. But for the most part, I know there was this thing with Roseanne Barr. I never saw her show. So a lot of the things that Americans, it's really in their consciousness and that they think everyone knows about, I don't even fucking know.
Wow.
I didn't know who he was.
Uh-huh.
So I was told that Rush Limbaugh was doing this. People would run after me in airports and go, "You've got to stop him." First of all, I don't like people telling me what to do. That's why I'm in a rock and roll band.
Sure.
So I was like, so I'd say, "Well, I haven't heard the show, should I?" And they go, "No, it's terrible." So I said, "Okay, I won't listen to it. I'll take, you're so I just got fed up with everyone telling me what to do, and I thought, so I investigated, and I think he was using a certain number of bars where he didn't have to ask permission.
Oh.
I don't remember what the story was. To be honest, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
There's your answer.
All
I
right.
didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
But if a politician who I wasn't backing was using my music for their theme song, obviously, that's kind of hardcore. So, it's in varying degrees. As a matter of fact, I think my dad probably loved Rush Limbaugh because, that's the kind of thing he would like.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And then I think we finally, after many years of being criticized for it, and it brought to my attention by Americans, I think we made some stipulation that should we get any proceeds from that, it would automatically go to the PETA organization.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if anything came in because I don't give a fuck. So,
okay. Sure. Okay, sorry, I hope I didn't
but
upset you.
I'm glad you asked because obviously people still wonder. And
Okay.
I'm not really, in some ways, the whole idea for me to be in a band it's subversive. But on the other hand, I mean, I'll vote, but I'm not very active in vocal in my political opinions because I don't really give a fuck.
Okay. And you also, this is the one other thing that is touchy, perhaps. You got some hassle when your book came out over the one aspect of describing an assault and then explaining it on NPR. And I was just wondering, I personally thought it was very unfair, the backlash and all that. And I'm not asking you to really dig in on that, but I was just wondering how you feel about the metoo movement. Are you aware of it as much?
No, let's talk about my thing that happened to me first.
Okay, sure.
I never read my press. I don't watch anything back, just because it would wind me up and make me self-conscious. And I mean, obviously I'm listening to my records as I'm making them, and I'm involved in this stuff I'm creating. But when I do an interview or when I never listen back to it or watch it, I know some artists are very diligently pay attention to that, and good for them, but a lot of people don't like it, and I'm one of those. So when all that happened, it went right past me. I never saw anything. I never heard anything. I had a couple emails from people saying, "You can come and stay with us until it blows over." And I said, "Well, I don't even know what you're fucking talking about." And that was the end of it. I never thought about it. So I actually don't know what all that was about.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you have any thoughts about the what's going on now in the States with women, finally getting some justice on these kinds of things, or is that off your radar since you're mentioning other things being so?
Well, it's slightly off my radar because I'm not. I mean, I know it's an international thing, and I know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole. It's obviously it's extremely relevant. Carl, I've just been very lucky because any time that I've been in a situation where I've really got the shit kicked out of me and was abused, it was always because I was a dumbass and I was somewhere where I shouldn't have been and there was a lot of drugs involved. So that's just my experience. So, at the end of anything that I've been through, I only have myself to blame. And I realize that, and that's all I said. And if people took umbrage with that, well, that's my life. I'm not talking about their life. So, I've never told anyone what to do, and I never would. I think my least favorite word in the whole vocabulary is should. I'm not going to tell you what you should do or what you should think. And, I appreciate it if you don't tell me what I should think or do. It's like advice. If you ask someone for advice, that's one thing. But if you give it to them and you haven't asked, they'll hate you for it. So you just have to be delicate with people. So I don't really have much of an opinion on it. Justice is always good in any area of life,
Sure.
Truth is always good. Justice is good. How can it not be good?
Sure. Okay. So you're most known as far as causes and activism for PETA and animal rights. I was just wondering, what inspired that as a driving force in your life? And do you see any hope that things have made progress over all these years?
I think there's been progress made in every area of the culture. I think we're in a better place now than we have been for hundreds of years. I think we're in an amazing place in the world. Why I'm involved in animal rights is because I don't think animals should be killed or abused. I don't think anything should be killed or abused. So it was a no-brainer for me. I was into it since childhood. I recently met a married gay couple who live in France, and they'd adopt a couple of Haitian kids. And, I was to spend an evening with them. They adopted a couple of kids who I didn't ask, but they must have been orphaned after that hurricane. And when I walked home that night, I thought, that's pretty cool because you wouldn't have had that 20 years ago. These radical changes in the culture where things that are normal and totally accepted now weren't even 5 years ago. I think we're in such good shape in so many areas of the culture. Even in my lifetime, in the South, some musicians couldn't even stay in the hotel that the rest of the band was in because of segregation. That's just in my lifetime. So the people for the ethical treatment have made stupendous, maybe more than any other organization in the world. They've made incredible inroads into animal welfare and busting assholes who are exploiting animals. And I think the main problem in the world in general right now is we don't have any topsoil, and factory farming has destroyed everything. And now that's our main problem now. And I don't think it's really being addressed. My personal activism, and I'm a rogue faction, I'm on my own really, is to encourage small non-slaughter farms, dairy farms, where we are looking after. I don't think there should be animal sanctuaries. I think farms should be animal sanctuaries. Obviously, at the moment, we need animal sanctuaries because a lot of animals need somewhere to go. There's no habitat for them. And the ones that are rescued from abattoirs and factory farms, they need somewhere to go. But in my future scenario, farms are animal sanctuaries, and the animals aren't exploited, and when they're retired, they're not killed. So,
okay.
Do I think there's any hope? You're damn right I think there's hope. I think we're in better shape than we ever are. If you look back 5 years, 10 years in almost any area of the culture, you'll see tremendous advances that, change because people brought about change. People want justice. People want good things, and good things have happened.
Okay, awesome. So I guess the last thing I want to ask is what's kept you in the game all these years? And something I would ask a lot of veteran performers, whether it be Springsteen or the Stones or whatever, but you're the biggest, longest term star that I've had the pleasure of interviewing, and so I hope you don't mind me asking the question.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm just wondering, like,
you can ask me anything, man. I hope I'm not actually.
No, you're awesome.
At all, you're asking great questions.
Well, I just mean I don't want you to take it as disrespect, especially as a woman. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but like traditional jobs, people go, "Oh, I hit 65 or retire." What do you think it is that keeps like some of the greatest rock and rollers like yourself and the Stones and the Boss, like, and others that go in their 70s, like, which you're not, but I'm saying like Dylan, Willie Nelson, all those folks. So I'm just wondering, what do you think is keeping you guys on fire like that? Because I don't think people ever would have expected that from any of you guys. Because
I don't think any of us expected it. I mean, I'm sure Bob Dylan's as surprised as I am that we're still doing it. But we started in a young man's game, and or a young woman's game. It was a youth culture when we started.
Yeah.
And in the '60s, the whole ethos was don't trust anyone over 30. So we didn't expect it to last. We didn't really know where it was going. And a lot of our heroes died before they were 30. But we're still here, and we didn't get traditional jobs. We, traditionally, when someone's 65 and they retire, they think, best case scenario, they think, I'll buy a canal boat and I'll just live on the canal and I'll go all over the country. Or, they pursue their hobby, or they take up doing what they've always wanted to do all their life. But we lucked out. We started doing what we wanted to do all our life right in the beginning. So why would you change it?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate your time, and really looking forward to seeing you at the Arroyo Seco Fest. And thanks again.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Carl. And I really appreciate it. By the way, I think we have. Anyway, I don't know. I think we're just coming in pretty fast to do that show, and I don't know when we're on the bill or anything, so I don't know if I'll actually see you. But
okay.
Any requests?
Oh my God!
I don't even know how long we're
I love Don't Get Me Wrong. I love Chain Gang. I mean, sorry, they're kind of obvious ones, but yeah, and Kid.
I like obvious.
And Kid, man, it's like that song. There's a great cover of it. I don't know if you've heard it by Susanna Hoffs with Matthew Sweet, but they have 3 different volumes of cover songs, and that they did Kid on there. So, anyways,
did they?
Yeah, it's volume 3. If you look it up, it's on Amazon Prime, so it's probably all over the place.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that. That's great. I've seen a lot of. I saw so many bands in the last couple of weeks that I'm really vibed up. I've seen Future Island, who were great. I've seen Patti Smith, Nick Cave, Cat Power, St. Vincent, and L7.
Holy cow, man! I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm planning to see a whole bunch of shows this summer, but mine aren't quite as cool or rocking. Right off the bat, I'm seeing Bare Naked Ladies tomorrow and Diana Ross on Saturday, more out of curiosity than anything else, just to say, hey, I saw her, but next week it's all about the Royal Seiko thing, and there's a lot of bands I like. So,
right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, well, I feel we're in a very, very good, we're in a real sweet spot at the moment. Don't ask me why, but everything just feels right. It's like there's some kind of constellation now. Everything's lined up, and it just feels like we're in a really nice place culturally, where it feels very good to me. I think it's, I think things have never been better. So
that's great. Okay. Well, yeah. So thanks again, and good luck with everything.
Enjoy your shows that you're going to go see. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Take care.
Okay. Thanks,
Bye.
Carl.
Thanks.